You just bought a used motorcycle. The seller swears it has been maintained perfectly. Everything works great, and it is ready to ride. You are betting your life on a stranger's word about brake fluid, tire age, and chain tension. That is not trust, that is stupidity. I am breaking down the 10 things you must change on a used bike before your first real ride. Skip even one and you are gambling with catastrophic mechanical failure or a crash you do not walk away from. Let us start with the part that can kill you fastest. Number 1. Tires. Your tires are the only thing between you and the pavement. One failure here, and you are sliding into a guardrail at highway speed. Rubber degrades over time, even if the bike sat in a garage with low miles. The previous owner may not have told you when those tires were manufactured, or they may not know. Check the manufacturing date first. There is a 4-digit code molded into the sidewall. The first 2 digits are the week, the last 2 are the year. So 2318 means the 23rd week of 2018. The rule is simple: replace tires every 5 years, regardless of tread depth or mileage. After 5 years, the rubber compounds break down, they lose grip, they develop dry rot, they can blow out without warning. You often cannot see internal degradation until it is too late. The tire can look fine from the outside while the structure is compromised. If your tires are older than 5 years, replace them before you ride. Now check tread depth. Use the penny test. Stick a penny into the tread groove with Lincoln's head upside down. If you can see the top of Abe's head, the tire is legally bald. Replace it immediately. Uneven wear patterns mean something else is wrong. Worn center means overinflation. Worn edges mean underinflation. Cupping or scalloping means suspension issues or careless previous riding. Tire pressure is where most people screw up. Do not use the pressure stamped on the sidewall. That number is the maximum rated pressure, not the correct operating pressure. Your service manual lists the correct cold tire pressure for front and rear. Use those numbers. Underinflated tires overheat, wear prematurely, and handle poorly in corners. The contact patch deforms, the sidewalls flex too much, and the tire generates heat it cannot dissipate. Overinflated tires reduce the contact patch, lose grip, and make the bike twitchy. Check pressure before every ride when the tires are cold. Temperature changes pressure. A 10-degree temperature drop can change pressure by 1 to 2 pounds per square inch. That matters. The consequence of ignoring tires is a blowout at speed, loss of control in a corner, or a crash you do not walk away from. This is the cheapest insurance you can buy. A good set of tires costs $200 to $400 installed. A crash costs everything: your bike, your body, your life. Do this now. Walk out to your bike and check those date codes. If the tires are older than 5 years, do not ride it. Order new tires and wait for the install. If the tread is worn past the indicators, do not ride it. If the pressure is wrong, fix it before you leave your driveway. Tires are non-negotiable. They are the single point of contact between your bike and the road. Everything else, brakes, suspension, engine power, is useless if your tires fail. The previous owner did not check them. You have to. Number 2. Brake system, pads and fluid. Tires keep you on the road. Brakes keep you alive. Your brake system has 2 critical failure points: the pads and the fluid. Both degrade, both get ignored, both can kill you. Start with brake pads. They have wear indicator grooves molded into the friction material. When those grooves are flush with the metal backing plate, the pad is done. The problem is motorcycle brake pads do not have squealer tabs like car pads. They do not warn you with noise. You have to visually inspect them, and most people never do. Pull the pads, usually 2 bolts per caliper, and check the thickness against your service manual specification. If they are close to the limit, replace them now. Do not wait for next time. The consequence of worn pads is metal on metal grinding. That destroys your rotors. Once the rotors are scored, you are looking at a $300 to $500 rotor replacement on top of new pads. and in the moment it happens, you have total loss of stopping power. Now the fluid. This is where things get dangerous fast. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the air over time. Water has a much lower boiling point than brake fluid. Under hard braking, coming down a mountain pass, or a panic stop from highway speed, that water turns to vapor. Vapor is compressible. Fluid is not. When your brake line fills with vapor, you get a mushy lever, or no lever at all. That is called vapor lock, and it means you have zero stopping power when you need it most. Brake fluid should be changed every 1 to 2 years. The previous owner probably did not do it. You do not know how old that fluid is. You can tell by the color. Fresh fluid is clear or light amber. Old fluid is dark brown or black. If it is black, it has been in there for years and it is full of water. Flush the system completely. Start at the master cylinder, bleed at the caliper, and repeat until the fluid runs clear. Use the correct DOT rating from your service manual. DOT 3, DOT 4, and DOT 5.1 are glycol-based and compatible with each other. DOT 5 is silicone-based and not compatible. Do not mix them. The consequence of old brake fluid is vapor lock, complete brake failure, and a crash you cannot avoid. This is a $20 bottle of fluid in 30 minutes of your time. There is no excuse to skip it. Here is what you do. Pull your brake pads and measure them. If they are worn, order new pads. Check your brake fluid reservoir. If the fluid is dark, flush the system. Do not trust the previous owner's maintenance claims. They probably did not do this work. You have to. Number 3, chain, lube points, and consumables. You can stop, you can steer. Now let's make sure your drivetrain does not explode. The chain is your drivetrain. It connects engine power to the rear wheel. If it snaps, you are stranded. If it is too tight, it destroys your transmission. If it is too loose, it eats your sprockets and can jump off entirely. The previous owner did not maintain it. They ran it dry, let it rust, or adjusted it wrong. You are inheriting their neglect. First step, clean the chain. Use actual chain cleaner and a brush to remove old lube, dirt, and road grime. Do not use kerosene or gasoline. They damage the O-rings that seal the rollers. Inspect for rust, kinked links, or tight spots. Rotate the wheel slowly and watch the chain move. It should flow smoothly without binding or catching. If you see rust or stiff links, the chain is done. Replace it along with both sprockets. Never replace just the chain. Worn sprockets will destroy a new chain in weeks. Now lube it. Use actual chain lube, not WD-40 or motor oil. Those do not stay on. They fling off at speed and leave your chain dry. Apply a thin layer to the inside of the chain, the rollers that contact the sprockets, while rotating the wheel. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes before riding so the lube penetrates the O-rings. The consequence of a dry or damaged chain is catastrophic. It snaps at speed, wraps around your countershaft sprocket, and cracks your engine casing. That is a $2,000 plus repair for a $15 can of chain lube. Now check chain tension. Your service manual lists the spec, usually 35 to 45 millimeters of slack, measured at the midpoint of the chain run. Push the chain up, then pull it down. Measure the difference. That is your slack. Adjust using the axle nuts and alignment marks on the swing arm. Too tight means premature wear on the transmission output shaft bearing and the wheel bearings. The chain is constantly under load, even at idle. Too loose means the chain slaps against the swing arm, wears the sprockets unevenly, and can jump off the sprocket entirely. I have seen chains come off at highway speed. The bike locks up instantly. Get it right, this is not optional. Next, lube your cables. Throttle and clutch cables need lubrication, or they stick and bind. A stuck throttle at an intersection is a nightmare. You are rolling into traffic with the throttle wide open and no way to close it. A snapped clutch cable leaves you stranded with no way to shift. Use a cable luber tool, it costs $10, and spray cable lube into the housing while actuating the lever. Work the lever back and forth to distribute the lube through the entire cable. If the cables are frayed, kinked, or corroded, replace them. Cables are $20 to $30 each. A crash from a stuck throttle costs everything. Finally, grease your axle bolts, front and rear. If you do not, they seize to the wheel bearings. When you need to change a tire or service the wheel bearings, a seized axle bolt turns a 20-minute job into a 3-hour ordeal. You will be out there with a torch, a penetrating oil, and a lot of regret. Pull the axle, wipe it clean, apply a thin layer of grease, and reinstall. Torque to spec. Do this for both wheels. The consequence of ignoring lube points is seized bolts, stuck cables, and expensive labor bills when something finally breaks. This is basic maintenance that takes 30 minutes and costs almost nothing. There is no excuse. Here is what you do: clean and lube your chain today. Check the tension, lube your cables, grease your axles. The previous owner did not do it, you have to. Number 4. Engine fluids, oil, coolant, and fuel. The contact points are handled. Now let's talk about the fluids that keep your engine alive. Your engine has 3 critical fluids: oil, coolant, and fuel. All 3 degrade over time. All 3 were ignored by the previous owner. All 3 can destroy your engine if you do not change them immediately. Start with engine oil. It is the lifeblood of your engine. Oil lubricates metal surfaces, prevents friction, and carries away heat. Old oil turns acidic, loses viscosity, and stops protecting those surfaces. The problem is you do not know when the previous owner changed it. They might have lied about the maintenance history. That oil might be years old, broken down and full of contaminants. Drain it, all of it. Look at the color and consistency as it comes out. Fresh oil is amber and flows smoothly. Dirty oil is black and thick. If it looks like tar, it has been in there way too long. Check the magnetic drain plug for metal shavings. Small particles are normal, that is wear from normal operation. But if you see chunks of metal or glitter, the engine is eating itself. That is a rebuild waiting to happen. Change the oil and filter together. Use the correct viscosity from your service manual. Do not guess. Do not use whatever is on sale. The viscosity rating matters for oil pressure and engine protection. Fill the new filter with oil before installing it. This prevents a dry start. Those first few seconds before oil pressure builds are when most engine wear happens. The consequence of old oil is total engine seizure. Metal on metal contact, overheating, and catastrophic failure. That is a $3,000 to $5,000 rebuild for a $30 oil change. Now coolant. It is not just water. It is a mix of ethylene glycol, water, and corrosion inhibitors. The glycol lowers the freezing point and raises the boiling point. The inhibitors prevent rust and corrosion inside the cooling system. Over time, the glycol breaks down into formic and glycolic acid. Those acids eat seals, hoses, and aluminum cooling passages. The inhibitors get depleted. The coolant stops protecting and starts destroying. The previous owner did not flush it. That coolant is years old and turning corrosive. Drain the system completely. Flush with distilled water until it runs clear. Refill with fresh coolant mixed to the correct ratio, usually a 50-50 mix of coolant and distilled water. Some riders use distilled water with water wetter additive instead, especially in hot climates. Run the engine until the thermostat opens and the cooling fan cycles. This purges air from the system. Air pockets cause hot spots and can lead to overheating. The consequence of old coolant is corroded seals, a blown head gasket, and an overheated engine. A head gasket replacement costs $1,000 to $2,000 in labor alone. Finally, gasoline. Modern fuel contains ethanol, it is hygroscopic, it absorbs water from the air. Ethanol also oxidizes fast, breaking down into varnish and gum. Fuel degrades in 1 to 3 months depending on storage conditions. If the bike sat for months or years, that fuel is varnish waiting to clog your injectors or carburetors. Drain the tank completely. Use a siphon pump or disconnect the fuel line at the tank and let it drain into an approved container. Do not just run the engine until it dies. That pushes the bad fuel through your entire fuel system. Look at the fuel as it drains. Fresh gas is clear or slightly yellow. Old fuel has a brown or orange tint. If it smells like varnish or paint thinner, It is already breaking down. Refill with fresh fuel. If you have carburetors, drain the float bowls too. Old fuel sitting in the carburetors turns to sludge and clogs the jets. The consequence of old fuel is a clogged fuel system, rough running, hard starting, and a $500 or more cleaning bill to rebuild carburetors or clean injectors. These 3 fluids cost $100 total and take 2 to 3 hours to change. There is no excuse to skip them. Here is what you do. Drain and replace your oil and fuel this weekend. Replace the coolant as well. Do not trust the previous owner's word. Do not assume it is fine because the bike runs. The previous owner cut corners. You are fixing their mistakes before they destroy your engine. The fluids are fresh. Now let's make sure your engine can breathe and fire. Your engine needs 3 things to run: air, fuel, and spark. We've handled fuel. Now let's check air and spark. Start with the air filter. It is the source of all combustion air. A clogged filter chokes the engine, reducing power and fuel economy. The previous owner did not change it. You do not know how long it has been in there. Pull the filter and inspect it. If it is dirty, clogged, or falling apart, replace it immediately. A collapsed filter can suck debris into the combustion chamber and score your cylinder walls. Air filters are cheap, $15 to $30 depending on the bike. There is no reason to skip this. Now, spark plugs. This is where people screw up without realizing it. Not all spark plugs are the same, even if they thread into your engine. The heat range of the plug is critical. Too hot and it causes pre-ignition, too cold and it fouls. Check your service manual for the correct plug part number. Do not guess. Do not use whatever fits. Pull the old plugs and inspect them. The electrode should be brownish gray. Black and sooty means running rich. White and chalky means running lean, and that is dangerous. Replace them with the correct plugs. Gap them to specification using a feeler gauge. The consequence of wrong plugs is pre-ignition, detonation, melted pistons, and a destroyed engine. You just bought yourself insurance against catastrophic failure. Record your mileage. This is your new maintenance baseline. Which of these did the previous owner skip? Drop a comment. Subscribe so we can keep exposing the truth about motorcycles.